Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading. My name is Gabby Turner and we're going to be asking what is the key to your happiness. So hopefully we'll get some sort of insight that allows you to access some greater awareness of how to dive into happiness more. So we have three options here. The first option is represented by the Ingenue. So this is going to be listed in the timestamps with this name, the Ingenue. Group number 2 is the, what does it say? Oh, the Spinster. So if you feel drawn to this card, that would be group number 2 in the timestamps. And group number 3 is the Maid. All right, so I'm going to hold them all up here a little better for you. Group 1, the Ingenue. Group 2, the Spinster. And Group 3, the Maid. Right. And once you've decided, just use those timestamps and I'll see you at your reading. All right, group 1, you chose the Ingenue. So let's get into your reading and see where your happiness lies. What is the key to your happiness? So as I cut the deck, I get the Ace of Cups and the Hermit. So I think part of it is self-love. I mean, that's probably sounds a little bit trite, right? We're always recommended to engage in self-love. But let's just get more into the message here. With a good shuffle. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot. This is funny, like with the Ingenue card, I was thinking already of like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And here we have like a yellow brick road here on this Ace of Pentacles, and then we have someone charging down a road. So an Ingenue is someone who is kind of innocent, but in their innocence, it's kind of like the essence of the Fool card in tarot. Like, I'm so open to experience that I'm also leaving myself open to folly. Right, because the Fool card, I wish we had the Fool card here, is someone about to walk off a cliff, right? But they're like, they've got their eyes to the sky. They're like delighted by life, you know. There's something about taking that energy and instead of being naive or like placing yourself in danger, like more so like grasping that energy of I'm excited to be alive. And I feel like, you know, most of us have felt that sort of energy at some point in our life where we're like, I'm totally open to whatever come. Like I'm not constantly worrying about, oh, what if the car breaks down, or, you know, what if this, that, or the other thing happens, right? There are times in our lives when we are kind of just so excited to be alive, you know, like maybe we're going off to college for the first time, or we've moved to a new city and we're just excited about, you know, all the possibilities, right? So whatever it is, like, I think that you're meant to grasp that energy right now, and that's a place where you can really find your joy and a sort of expansive, emanating happiness. Diving into something new, and or allowing yourself to feel that feeling again of the world is my oyster. The world is your oyster not because of what the world is doing. The world is your oyster because of what you are choosing to do. It's sort of like being open to the adventure of life. Being open to the adventure of life and yet doing it in a sensible way. Right? I feel like the Ace of Pentacles here is saying like to do it in a grounded way, right? Don't be jumping off any bridges or cliffs. Okay, so what else is this group 1 need to know? Yeah, I think it's like, okay, we have the 8 of Wands and the Sun card. It almost feels like, again, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. She sets off on this journey. You know, in her case, the circumstances were kind of scary that placed her there. This tornado came and it planted her in Oz. She doesn't know where she is, right? So she is totally innocent and naive because she has to find her way in this whole new reality. But as she's doing it, she meets so many people and she's open to that experience, right? I'm not used to this place. So much here is, you know, disorienting. And yet there's an ability we have to sense, you know what, this is an intriguing person. This is a person who is meant to be a part of my life or meant to influence my life in a way. I feel like with this 8 of Wands and the Sun card, we're combining that energy of like, get back into the zest of life where we're happy to be alive. We're open to the adventure of life, right? And along the way, we find other people who can help us. And in her case, it's helping her with a goal. She wants to get back home. So she finds people along the way and she kind of networks with them, so to speak, right? So maybe you have a goal that you're trying to achieve. And instead of thinking of it as a burden, you could think of it more as an adventure. Hey, there's this adventure I want to pursue. Maybe you want to write a novel. I don't know, maybe you want to get into the Olympics. But it's like whatever this goal is that you have, if you think of it as an adventure, then you can also think, just like Dorothy, along the way, I'll find friends. I'll find people who can help me and we can help each other with our own goals. You know, maybe their goals align with mine. And so as they're helping me to get home, I can help them to find a heart, to find a brain, you know, to find whatever they're looking for, to find courage. So yeah, like open yourself to the experience of life and also open yourself to finding those people who are on this path with you, because the path that you're on serves all of you in your own unique ways. I also just am getting a message in general of let people help you. Let people help you. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have a hard time articulating this, but it's like, you know, sometimes people feel they are looking for their own potential within themselves. And sometimes we find our potential through helping someone. It helps us to see what we ourselves are capable of. And it's almost like you, now I'm getting so many references to movies and books and stuff, but like Snow White, all of these elves, they just want to help her, right? Because she embodies this sort of, she makes them feel whole. She makes them feel protected and nurtured somehow. We have the Empress here, and the Empress is about that type of energy as well. So it's like sometimes people are looking for their own sense of purpose. And if their sense of purpose aligns with your dream that you have, you know, why not kind of allow yourself to accept that gift that they have? Like someone has a talent to, I don't know, help you train. Maybe you find someone who's an excellent trainer. You're trying to get into the Olympics or some other sort of athletic competition or something. Like, people want to have a sense of purpose, and it's like your sense of purpose and your goals are aligning with other people's, and you are meant to be more open to that experience. That's going to lead you to greater happiness. And look, it's like this little bird giving her this jewel. You know, it gives that bird a sense of happiness. So yeah, so I think that's the message for you guys. Like, I would say just to focus on what has been said in this reading, and think about how to start sort of marinating in that energy again of life is a journey, life is an adventure. I'm going to meet some great people in this journey as I'm walking down this path to pursue an important goal of mine. And we're going to help each other to succeed. We're going to help each other to get where we're wanting to go. And yeah. So, all right, group 1, I hope that that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, you chose the Spinster card. Let's get into your reading and see what is the key to your happiness. So let me give the cards a good shuffle here. That's interesting. Okay. So you chose the Spinster, and when I cut the deck, I get the Temperance and the High Priestess. I kind of feel like if you combined these two cards, you would get a sort of Spinster energy, like someone who's kind of choosing to be in their own space, someone who's prioritizing their self and their tranquility to maybe access greater knowledge, like, yeah, so maybe, and I saw 11:22 when I looked up at the camera on the, you know, the time stamp of where it's recording. Yeah, so I think like one of the keys to your happiness is to really enjoy tranquility of connecting to maybe your own personal wisdom. Let's see what else here. I think there's something about being a spectator almost in life as well, like learning from people watching in a sense, you know, like literal people watching is, you know, you're out somewhere there, we're in public where people are walking by and you're just kind of watching, seeing what people are doing. It's like free entertainment, or it's just kind of like a mindfulness type of thing as well. But I don't know, there's something here about like being a spectator, like learning from what other people are doing. Like you don't always have to be the one doing it in order to understand the activities or the mindset. It's like you can learn from your own experiences, but you can also learn from other people's experiences, right? Because the Spinster has chosen not to get married and settle down. That's what a Spinster is. She's chosen not to do that, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't, from her own vantage point, understand what that is. She doesn't understand it in the first hand, but she's very aware other people are out here doing this, right? And she can kind of observe, and because she's more to herself, she has time to kind of process what she's observing in other people's choices. So it's kind of like there are so many experiences, because I have this Prince of Wands upright, and these other two cards, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Swords reversed. It's, I don't know, to me it's making me feel like how we can take our own journey, but we can also take the journey of other people as well. It's the reason why, you know, people like to read biographies and learn about history, or even to read celebrity gossip, right? It's like it's interesting to understand what someone else's life is like and to be able to kind of put yourself in their shoes. So yeah, there's something here about your joy is found in cultivating a wisdom of maybe being a little bit removed from other people in a sense, but you're also still very connected to those people in your mind and your heart, and in the way that you process and observe what they're going through. So right, you're removed from them in the sense that you're not like right in the thick of it, right? But you're still connected to what they're doing because you are aware of what people are doing. You're watching, you're observing, you're learning. Maybe you're reading people's biographies. And so you're gaining this wisdom and insight about maybe the human condition, sort of. Removing yourself, like stepping back so that you can see more clearly what the human condition actually is. It feels like maybe to you, like there's more value, like more happiness potential for you in doing that than in being in the thick of it, you know? Like understanding what marital love is, for example, it's almost like it makes more sense to you when you're reading a book that involves a married couple, or you're watching a movie, or you know, you're hanging out with your friends who happen to be married or something like that, or like you're even observing on Facebook or something like that, how other people are living their lives. It's like I feel like you appreciate those choices, and maybe it's not specifically marriage, but the Spinster card just kind of points to that particular type of life choice. But like what you see other people doing with their lives, maybe you don't necessarily want to do that thing yourself. The experience of it isn't as valuable to you as what it tells you about human nature and how you can understand humans, in a sense. I don't know. It's like you're making your own experience without maybe having to go through for what for you would not be satisfying. For a lot of people that is satisfying, right? But maybe it's not satisfying for you to actually live that particular experience. And it may or may not be marriage, but like I'm sure there are many experiences you see other people having where you're like, well, I really wouldn't want to go through that experience, but it's valuable to kind of see what it's like for someone else. For example, I would not want to live in a super duper cold climate. I don't like super cold weather, but like, you know, I recently watched this sort of vlog of this woman who lives in the coldest city on earth. You know, it's intriguing to understand like how other people are living their lives and what that means to them, even though I know that it would not be an experience I would want to have. Or when we see people who have like extreme fame and like the paparazzi in their face all the time, and it's like, you know, most of us feel we would not want that experience, and yet it's interesting to see, or we learn something from being able to observe what is that like for someone else. We put ourselves in someone else's shoes, so to speak. I think that's what a great source of happiness is for you, being able to kind of understand and gain wisdom through empathizing and observing what other people are going through, even if it's something that you yourself would not choose to experience. Is there anything else you can tell us about why this is a source of happiness? Or keep getting the High Priestess wanting to come up. I feel like you do have a very strong, it gives you a sense of peace simply to connect empathetically with other people. It's almost like your soul, S-O-U-L, my accent is getting in my way today. Your soul desires to have so many experiences in order to gain so much wisdom. And yet your physical vessel only has the aptitude to do so much in one lifetime. So it's almost like you become this sort of sponge for human experience through being so empathetic in your observations and your understanding of what other people are going through, even though they're going through things that are quite different from yourself. It allows you to see things from their perspective, and therefore to cultivate your own soul. It's like it fertilizes your soul to do this. So hopefully that makes sense somehow, and hopefully this was helpful. Spinster group, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, you chose the Maid as your card. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is the key to your happiness, group 3? Let's see. I feel like you're the social bunch or something. Like the key to your happiness definitely has to do with like approaching people, interacting with people. You're very curious. It's like striking up, I'm getting like striking up conversations with people. Brings you happiness. Yeah, almost, to be honest, almost, oh my goodness, very people-oriented. We get the Two of Cups and the Lover's card, but also the Tower card was the first card. So that's kind of what I was getting. It's like the Tower card is, hold on one moment. Okay. The Tower card is sort of like abrasive, or like, you know, like coming up to someone out of the blue and introducing yourself and just like forcing your way into their life almost. You know, some people have a way of doing that, but they can do it in a way that actually forges very strong friendships or even romantic relationships. But yeah, it's like catapulting yourself into someone's life, forcing a connection with someone in this way is somehow how you achieve happiness. Because it's like, you know that you have something to offer these people, and you just want to offer it. I don't think it's about you trying to get something out of the person. It's more like, I have something to offer. I know that you may not understand that, but I know that I'm going to add value to your life, and I'm just going to insist on butting my way into your life and adding that value. It reminds me of this woman who always comes up to people and hugs them at this church service thing that I go to. Right? And it's not, she doesn't do it in a way, I mean, it is abrasive, I guess. It's not really abrasive, but it's like, she's like, I'm going to come up and hug you, and that's it. You know, it's loving. That's what I don't know the words to describe it, because I'm not like this, but it's, you're going to push your love into people's lives. That's what I feel. Pushing your love into people's lives. Saying, hey, I know that I have something to offer. We had the Princess of Pentacles, now the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like understanding, like, I can be kind of like a rock for someone. I can be a cornerstone for someone. It's kind of like you have a knack for knowing who might need a little bit of that support, and you don't have a problem approaching someone and offering it. Right? Like, hey, you seem like maybe you need a hug. You seem like you need a friend. You seem like you need this, that, or the other. You know, like I feel like there's a sort of generous spirit that you have, in which you want to make sure everyone knows that they are loved and cared for. Yeah. You're just like overflowing with love, and you're giving that freely to everyone you meet. Yeah. Well, I hope you listened beyond the very first part of it, because the first part of it, I mean, I think the thing is with that Tower card, it's like, it's not the type of energy that a lot of people are used to, and some people are a little bit more shy about things like that, right? Yeah, but you have a very loving way. I think that you understand how to approach people in order for it to be obvious that you're coming from a place of care and concern. So I don't know, is there anything else to say about the key to happiness here for group 3. I think the only other thing I would say is that you're a very strong person to be able to do this. You know, lots of people might in their head look at someone and say, wow, that person seems sad. They look like they need support, but then they don't have the courage to actually get up and, like, you know, comfort that person. We have self-doubts about whether someone can accept our kindness. So sometimes we hold back and we don't give that kindness, but you are bold enough to give the kindness and check your own ego and, like, not worry so much about rejection. That's what most of us are concerned about in this type of situation. Like, we don't want to, you know, be rejected or, like, accidentally offend someone or something like that. But, like, when you know that you have this lovingness to offer and you insist upon offering it, it shows a certain type of courage. And so I just feel like not only is this a clue to you to continue to be that way, or if you have been scared of it, maybe it's just telling you, like, you'll have so much happiness if you just go ahead and start acting on these impulses. Maybe you've seen people who were sad and you wanted to approach them and comfort them or something, and you didn't do it. In that case, it's just telling you this is a good idea to do. If you're the type of person who's already doing this, it's just letting you know how much courage you do have. Like, you may not see that in yourself, but you have a lot of courage to do this to begin with, and it is something that does bring you happiness. So you should keep it up. All right, well, thank you, group 3, for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.